everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about deflection of beams. Deflection is also subdivided into short term deflection and long term deflection. So, how does this short term deflection occurs means it occurs at the early stage of concreting, especially it is due to dead load, live load and pre-stress. And this long term deflection occurs in the later on stages of concreting, that is after 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, like that. In later stages we can observe this long term deflection. This occurs due to dead load, live load, pre-stress as well as creep. So let's start with short term deflection. As I said, this short term deflection occurs due to dead load, live load, and pre stress. Let us see the formula of deflection due to those type of a load. So, first point what I have considered is deflection due to dead load. Under that, I have considered a first case, that is simply supported beam carrying UDL. Its magnitude is W per meter and length of the beam is L. As we know, if dead load is acting on the beam, obviously it is like a UDL. So throughout the beam this dead load will be there. So I have considered it as a dead load. Delta DL, that is nothing but deflection due to dead load. For a simply supported beam carrying a UDL, the deflection formula is 5 by 384 into WL power 4 by EC into IX. What is this EC? EC is nothing but Young's modulus of concrete. For Young's modulus of concrete, we have a standard formula, that is 5700 into root of FCK, where FCK stands for characteristic strength of the concrete. The second case is cantilever carrying UDL. It is having a length L, magnitude W per meter. Formula for this is delta DL equal to WL power 4 by 8 EC into IX. The next load is deflection due to live load. The first one is deflection due to a dead load. Second condition is deflection due to live load. Under that, again I have considered many cases like that. The first one is simply supported beam carrying a UDL having a length of L and magnitude W per meter. Here one thing you can do, I have used notation W for a live load, but few people will represent it as WQ. Anything is fine. WQ or W both are same, both are live load. Deflection due to live load is, you can observe the notations here. For dead load I had used delta DL. For live load it is delta LL. Delta LL equal to 5 by 384 into WL power 4 by Young's modulus of concrete into I, where I stands for moment of inertia. Second case is simply supported beam carrying the point load exactly at the center. Okay, so if it is at the center means complete length of the beam is L. So half of that portion is L by 2, L by 2. Deflection due to live load in this case is W L cube by 48 Young's modulus of concrete into IX. So third case, simply supported beam carrying a 2-point load at a distance of L by 3, L by 3 and L by 3 from right support. Deflection due to live load is 23 by 648 into WL cube by Young's modulus of concrete into IX. Fourth case is cantilever beam carrying UDL delta LL equal to WL power 4 by 8 EC into IX. Fifth one is cantilever beam carrying point load at the end delta LL WL cube by 3 EC into IX. And the third case is deflection due to pre-stress. Deflection due to dead load is over, deflection due to live load is over, and now we are solving or we are dealing with deflection due to pre-stress. Under deflection due to pre-stress, the first case is straight cable. A concrete beam carrying a straight cable, it is pre-stress. It is having a eccentricity E. Eccentricity means, first of all, this dotted line is nothing but a neutral axis, and this cable is placed below the neutral axis, and the distance between neutral axis and the cable is nothing but eccentricity. So for this, the bending moment will be rectangular bending moment, and the sign convention for this is negative, or you can also say that as negative bending moment. Why it is negative bending moment means, first of all, when ends are cut, these cable try to hog. So as the case is hogging, it is bending moment is represented by negative sign, and as neutral axis is present below the a cable is present below the neutral axis, sign convention is negative. We have considered half of this rectangle for the calculation, that is L by 2 portion. Height of it is P into E. First of all, the standard formula, deflection formula is delta equal to area into X by EI, where X stands for centroidal distance, or else I can also say that as area into centroidal distance by EI. So let us calculate the area value first. We know for a rectangle, area is equal to breadth into depth. So it is L by 2 into PE is the area into centroidal distance, that is, it will be present exactly at the center, so it will be the length by 2. Already the length is L by 2 is L by 4 by EI, and here this sign is important, as this is hogging, as it's a negative bending moment. Just mention that sign. So the formula is delta equal to minus PE into L square by 8 EI. The next case is parabolic profile. As it is a parabolic profile, it is present below the neutral axis. The eccentricity at the supports will be 0, but eccentricity at the center will be there. As we know, deflection formula is delta equal to area into centroidal distance by EI. As it's a parabolic profile, the bending moment will be hogging kind, and the sign convention for this is negative sign convention. deflection formula is delta equal to area into centroidal distance by EI, where area of this parabolic profile or parabolic variation is 2 by 3 into length into height. So here height in the sense this is maximum bending moment, that is P into E is a maximum bending moment. Area is 2 by 3 into length is L by 2, that is only half portion we have considered. So L by 2 into PE is the area into the centroidal distance is it is 5 by 8 into its length. Here length is L by 2. So in place of centroidal distance, I have written 5 by 8 into L by 2 by EI. Sign convention for this is negative. So minus 5 PE L square by 48 EI is a deflection formula for parabolic cable. But before that, you should know one point is why I'm taking a centroidal distance from the support is see from the base the centroidal distance is 3 by 8, but from the toe or from the support it is 5 by 8 into length. Always measure the centroidal distance with respect to the support or with respect to the toe. Okay. The next third case is linear cable. So you can observe here eccentricity at the support is 0, but eccentricity at the center is present. So it is distance is E, and again at the support it's 0. For this linear cable, the bending moment will be in a triangular variation. This is a negative sign convention. We are considering only half of the portion. So half of the portion is length will be L by 2. As we know, the area of the triangle is half into base into height, where half into base means L by 2 into height means PE, that is the area, into the centroidal distances, it is 2 by 3 into the length, that is L by 2 by EI. Therefore, the delta equal to, don't forget the sign, delta equal to minus PE L square by 12 EI is a deflection formula for linear cable. Now, the fourth case is trapezoidal cable. Here, you can see the variation like this in a trapezoid form. Here, we can observe two eccentricity, that is, in the middle portion, cable profile is straight, and afterwards, from that end of the straight portion up to the support, it is linear. Again, from here to here, it is linear variation. So for this trapezoidal cable, the bending moment will be like this, that is in the shape of trapezoid itself. Here also we have considered half of the portion, that is exactly from the center towards left, whatever portion is there that we have considered. But what we should do for area is, as we know the deflection formula is delta equal to area into centroidal distance by EI, but while writing the area and the centroidal distance you should be careful. Here we have two areas, that is one is triangle and one more is a rectangle. So do the calculation as I have explained, then add both the area and the centroidal distance. Here you can see one triangular area, one rectangle area. So add both the areas. And the fifth case is parabolic with eccentricity at support. This is very important. Why this is important means here you can see a word like parabolic with eccentricity at support. Till now, for example, let me show you from the previous slides. In the previous parabolic profile or a parabolic cable, you can observe at the center there was no eccentricity. Eccentricity was present only at the center. But here in this case, here you can observe we have a eccentricity at the support. Here the cable starts from here and it is like a straight line, and afterwards then there will be a parabolic variation below the neutral axis. Okay. For eccentricity at the support is EI, eccentricity at the center is E2. I have already said if the cable is below the neutral axis, then the bending moment will be negative bending moment. If the cable is present above the neutral axis, then it will be a positive bending moment. Like that, first of all, we don't have any standard formula for this kind of a profile. So what we should do is we should consider both the areas, bending moment areas, then we should add and we should solve for delta. Like that, because of this cable or a cable present above the neutral axis, I have written a first bending moment variation, that is it will be rectangle. You can observe here I have considered eccentricity at the support, that is PE1 as a height and breadth is L by 2, and its sign convention is positive sign convention. Next is for this parabolic profile. For this parabolic profile, the bending moment will be a parabolic, but here the important thing is you can observe here the maximum bending moment for this variation is P into E1 plus E2. This is very important. Here it is only for P into EI, but here it is for like we should consider both the eccentricity. So it is P into EI plus E2 has a maximum bending moment, and we know the centroidal distance for this. So what we should do now, we should add both the areas and the along with the centroidal distance. So I have written the formula like this: delta equal to 1 by EI, I have kept it outside, into area of the first one, that is area of this rectangle, PE1 into L2 into length by 2. Generally the formula is length by 2. Here length itself is L by 2, so it is L by 4. As this is a positive bending moment, no need to write any sign convention here. The next one is it's a parabolic, so the sign convention for this is negative, so start with the negative sign, minus parabolic is area is 2 by 3 into base L by 2 into eccentricity maximum bending moment is P into E1 plus E2 is a area, into the centroidal distance is 5 by 8 into L, that is L by 2. Like this we should add both the areas along with the sign, and we should create a deflection formula. And next one is linear with eccentricity at the supports. In this case, you can observe it's a linear variation. Eccentricity is present at the support. It is denoted by E1. Eccentricity at the center is E2. So, as this cable is present above the neutral axis, neutral axis, the bending moment will be positive. So, positive bending moment, and it's a straight cable here. Variation, bending moment variation is a rectangle P into E1, and length is L by 2. The next diagram is for this variation. Okay, it is present below the neutral axis, so it is a negative bending moment variation, or directly you can write minus here in this triangle. Inside the triangle you can write like that. And again, this point is important. Here the maximum bending moment for the second variation is P into E1 plus E2. Don't forget this. This is very important. Centroidal distance is 2 by 3 into L by 2. Now add both the areas. As we have rectangle as well as a triangle, let's start with the deflection equation, that is delta equal to I by EI. I have kept it outside, into add the area along with the centroidal distance. Area of the rectangle is PE1 into L by 2 into the centroidal distance is L by 4. As the length is L by 2, L by 2 by 2 will be L by 4. Sign convention for this is positive, so I have not written anything here. The next case is negative bending moment, so start with minus. Area of the triangle is half into base into height. Half into L by 2 into height is P E1 plus E2. Area is over. Now the centroidal distance is 2 by 3 into L by 2, that is length. Afterwards add it and create a deflection equation. Like this, for any kind of a profile we can find out a deflection equation. Now the final case is long term deflection. As I said previously, we dealt with deflection due to live load, deflection due to dead load, and deflection due to pre-stress. Now it's a second one, that is long term deflection. As I said, this long term deflection occurs due to dead load, live load, as well as pre-stress plus creep. The final deflection is delta equal to delta IL plus delta IP into PF by PI into 1 plus phi. This formula is easily available in the codebook. You can go and refer the codebook. First of all, this notation stands for delta IL equal to deflection due to loads. Here you should be careful. Deflection due to loads means you should consider both the dead load as well as live load values. After adding dead load, deflection due to dead load, deflection due to live load, we will get delta IL. Next is delta IP. It is deflection due to pre-stress. PI, initial pre-stressing force. PF, final pre-stressing force, where phi stands for creep coefficient. And we know that if any creep value is not given in the question, we can take creep coefficient has 1.6. And the next thing is permissible deflection. Here, this values also you can check in IS 456 codebook. It is available. These values are available, or this permissible deflection they have mentioned there. So for upward deflection, the permissible limit is span by 300. For the downward deflection, the permissible limit is span by 250. Like that, there is a permissible deflection values. Okay, hope you have understood the introduction on deflection. Thank you.